etc. get you deals on everything like cruises, car rentals, even movies, restaurants, entertainment, theme parks, and much, much more. Now you're thinking, this is going to cost me thousands. Well, think again. The low, low price will blow you away. Plus, if you join right now, you can try hotels, etc. absolutely free for 72 hours. Wake up, people. Try it free for 3 days. No cost, no obligation. So now you have your vacation. And your money, too. Never pay full price again. Join hotels, etc. right now and slash your travel and entertainment costs up to 70%. Call toll-free 877-967-7283. 877-967-7283. Or sign up online, hotelsetc.com. That's HOTELSETC.com.
Hey, travelers. Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first-class tickets.
800-917-1386. 800-917-1386. 800-917-1386. That's 800-917-1386.
You're tuned into WWE Hakeville, AM 1100.
The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
Yes, this is Mr. Controversy, and this is the infamous 3-point conversion station. Keep it locked. Yes, we are back inside the 3-point conversion sports lounge, and I'm your host, Mr. Controversy. Did you miss me? Yes, we are back, man. I really meant that. You know, we missed last week, but we are back live in effect. Yo, right now, I know it's a lot going on, of course, like always, but these NBA playoffs are fire. They're right now, if you're not watching, they're great. They are great, and of course, you know we got a lot of that to talk about. But I am glad that you all are here with us. I hope everyone is safe and healthy. And I want to go ahead and first say it's going to be a hard. I didn't say a hard show, but this is my mother. She had passed away in 1998. But today is her birthday, so I'm not the one to be like, "Happy birthday, Mom," because she's not here. But still, just to my family and everybody, yo, I'm with y'all, whatever. And we making her proud, so I had to say that. But also, man, like I said, man. Just a great day.
Happy birthday, my dudes.
Yeah, thanks. Just a great day. And I want to first shout out my guy, G. Does everything behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. What up, G?
Yo.
That's it? Anything else today? I know it's just because. Got anything else to say?
Don't mess with tradition, man.
Okay. All right, we'll keep it MLB. All right, and then I got my road dog, my partner in crime, D Intellectual. What up, D?
What up?
How you feeling, bro?
Man, I'm good. Can't complain, man. How about yourself?
I'm good, man.
It's been a long, busy week.
Bruh, was it? Long, busy week, but it's cool. We still here. And like I said, man, it's these playoffs been crazy, right?
Nuts. And we only just out of the first round. We ain't even out of the first round.
It's been crazy. It's been crazy. A lot of theatrics, a lot of big-time performances, and that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to go ahead.
Hawk fans was there and turned up. Man.
And not even just Atlanta, just everywhere, man. Yeah. It was just,
because you finally get fans in the playoffs.
Right. Except for Denver. Denver had like 35 people there. like, damn, I thought that fans would come back. But other than
still won.
Even the Knicks fans were showing up. They got beat pretty bad, but they showed up.
Right, they showed up, and that was good to see for basketball. And I think that's what people say when we, and I'm gonna get to the show, but when we say it's good that if Knicks,
Lakers,
yeah, because it's Madison Square. That's what it is really about. It's just about Madison Square. The fans, the atmosphere, minus the spitting. But
because they've pretty much always been losing.
Right.
It's just fun being there during the playoffs.
Right, they don't win championships. But anyway, we have a great show lineup for you. Like I said, we are talking NBA playoffs. We have special guest, maybe I'm prophesying, but Mr. Joel Cortez from the Basketball Association podcast. He's going to be here to break down the NBA playoffs. Any questions about trade, Atlanta Hawks and the 76ers and everything else. Also, is it time for him to leave or should he stay? We saw the big news with Terry Stotts getting fired, so what does that do for Lillard now? We're going to get into that. Also, we have special guests, Mr. Deshaun Tate from Tate's Take Sports, here to talk about Coach K. Bruh, that don't even seem right. Shout out to, I can't think my man's name, but Mr. Darwin, I say that's his last name. He was like, yo, is this even illegal? It doesn't seem like what other athlete when they retired or left the game it didn't seem like it was like, okay, this can't be. Like, to me, it's gonna seem weird with LeBron leave, but we'll get into that. We're gonna talk about that later with the what's on my mind, and then we are talking Major League Baseball. Hey, man, it's been a great season so far, man. It's early, but it's a lot of teams battling, a lot of good teams right now. So we're going to talk about that. And then we got to talk about who's been the most consistent player in the playoffs. What series are we looking forward to the most? We're going to get into that. And, of course, we got Stop It, Quick Hits, What's on My Mind. So let your family and friends know they can listen to the show live locally on 1100 AM WWWE, The Real in Atlanta, Georgia. Also, we're streaming live on 3 Point Conversion Facebook page. What up? 3 Point Conversion YouTube channel, 3pointconversion.com. And also, we're on iTunes, but TuneIn Radio and iHeartRadio. Just look up 1100 WWWE. All right, it is time to get to these quick hits. Let's get it. All right, so shout out to Sharon Beats for the sick beats. So shout out to Dr. Catherine Evans. She became the first woman. She's joining the Wizards, but became the first woman to run the analytics department for NBA. I think it's G League as well, right?
G League.
And she's doing it for the Wizards. So big ups to her. That was cool to see. We need stuff like that. That's good. Moving on. The NFL has pledged to halt the use of race norming, which assumed black players started out with lower cognitive functions, and the $1 billion settlement of brain injury claims and review past scores for any potential race bias. It's crazy. The practice made it harder for black retirees to show a deficit and qualify for an award. The standards were created in the 1990s in hopes of offering more appropriate treatment to dementia patients. But critics faulted the way they were used to determine payouts in the NFL concussion case.
So you tell me in the 90s, the 90s, right? That they were still saying pretty much that black people were born with lower.
Born dumb.
Right.
Yeah, born dumb.
like that's it. As soon as 1990, the NFL was saying that. So what it also goes in to say is that what they did was to settle the case. They'll say, "Hey, you don't get that much because this is how you were born. You are already lower,
Or
anyway."
you get no benefits at all.
Man, the NFL ain't.
As part of the case, remember Najee Davenport, who's a fullback in the league. Kevin Henry is a linebacker in the league. They tried to apply for the benefits that the former players normally get, and they were denied because they fell under the requirements.
Right.
But if they were white, they would have qualified.
So now they got to go back and fix a whole bunch of cases and pay a whole lot of money out.
Yeah.
Probably to some people that's already dead. Also, I'm pretty I'm like positive.
Yeah.
That's crazy because that's probably one of the things that what's the Green Bay Packer linebacker that we spoke to at the Super Bowl? Like the first black linebacker.
Oh, yeah. David Robinson.
Yeah, we spoke with him. That's kind of some of the stuff he was talking about. Look. I mean, look, it's right there.
It's right there. It's right there, man. Moving on. I don't get this, y'all. Y'all explain this to me because I don't know. Maybe I'm what they they thought we were in the 90s. But listen to this. Former Major League Baseball manager and Arizona Diamonds announcer Bob Brenly will take a leave of absence from his broadcast position following his comments about New York Mets pitcher Marcus Stroman. During a Mets-Diamondbacks game this week, Brenly said he was pretty sure that the same do-rag that Tom Seaver used to wear when he pitched for the Mets, Stroman was wearing under his hat, because Stroman wears the do-rag, right? Also, Brenly has stated that it was a poor attempt at humor and he will begin sensitivity training. Because they were clowning him on Twitter after that. What? I don't get it. Let me know, bro, and I'll be the first to admit, okay, that's what it was. But I don't get it. What was wrong with it?
There was some undertone race stuff, man.
What was the undertone?
Just so when you talk about do-rags and stuff like that, Tom Seaver ain't wore no do-rag.
Yes, he did.
He wore a white do-rag in 1976 when he was
No,
pitching.
he did not.
He had braids then.
Right. You probably was laughing when he said it too. Right?
I just heard it was like, okay, what's the?
Oh man, it's always some undertone. Why you think he doing what he doing? Why he going through sensitivity?
I know they were clowning him on Twitter. That's why I was like, so you mean to tell me that Seaver never wore a do rag?
Nah,
or
man.
the rag, or not do rag, but the rag, whatever under his head. Okay. So why would he
wore
say
a
that?
bandana.
Right.
What was the point of him saying that then?
Because Marcus Stroman wears a do-rag.
But why did he bring Seaver?
Because Seaver is the best pitcher in the history of the franchise. Right. And I think he just brought it up because pitchers are wearing do-rags. Yeah, just like Tom Seaver. Like, it's supposed to be sarcasm.
Okay. Because I didn't hear it.
It didn't come off that way to a lot of people.
Right. And then it's going back to Tom Seaver, who's like, it's just that. You know what I'm saying?
You think he was just
being
okay? Because when I read it, I'm just like, so basically, like you said, it was a horrible joke.
Yeah, you can't
say that right
now. If it wasn't the Diamondbacks, he probably would have got fired. And the reason he didn't get fired is because it's the Diamondbacks, and then he won a championship with them. He probably like, hold on, go on.
And I said, I didn't hear him say it.
Go on, sit down for the rest of the season. Let people forget about it.
Forget about it, right? Because when I saw it, I'm like, all right, I don't like. I'm not. Why did he bring? I didn't understand why he brought Seaver in, and I'm just like, I didn't get the connection. So I guess it was done. Period. Huh?
Yeah.
Moving on. The scheduled 8-round exhibition fight between Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul will take place tonight in Miami at Hard Rock Stadium. Because this is not an official bout, there will be no judges, no winner will be declared at the end of the contest, although knockouts are allowed and the referee retains the discretion to stop the contest at any time. So is this? So can we say this is a charity bout?
I mean, yeah, charity to Mayweather pockets. I ain't mad at Mayweather. First, I was a little, but then somebody kind of broke it down a little bit. His 50-0, he ain't got to worry about that, right?
Right.
Because one is not even real.
Whoa.
What?
You said a 50-0 not real?
I'm talking about this fight.
Okay. I was like,
then
I'm not even sure if the 50th one counts because that was
right.
kind
Yeah,
of
that
It probably don't. So then he also can go out and make $100 million without putting that on the line against some young Thurman or Spence or anybody and probably get dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably not even gonna be touched.
Right.
He gonna make like 100 bands, 100 million.
Right.
Yeah, he said he's made $30 million in just the build up to the fight.
See? Yeah, man.
This what I mean. You knew what this was. I knew what it was. But
but at first I was like, come on, man, why you got to do that? Hey,
Right.
I guess why not? For what, like 3 hours? How much did he really
work?
Yeah, like 2 hours.
Counting the build up to the fight and the fight itself.
Just the fight, like an hour and a half.
But don't forget, and we got to move
It's
on.
8 rounds, probably like 30 minutes.
But D, don't forget, we got to move on. But don't forget, he should. I mean, the acting job they did, the skit they came up with, that probably took a lot of work.
With the hat?
With the hat, yeah, that was a good skit.
That definitely was a skit. No, I'll kill you. But we got to move on. Did you see later on where his brother was like, now I'm afraid for my life because he wanted to go out and do this. Because Floyd has the power to get someone killed.
Yeah.
Like, dude, come on.
Right.
That was a good job.
But then you got a tattoo of you taking the hat.
Right, yeah, bruh. Moving on. The NFL Players Association sent a memo to players advising limitations for the amount of Toradol. Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Toradol taken due to the risk of major bleeding. The memo says players should not take the painkiller as a way to reduce anticipated pain. It does allow for the oral preparation of the drug in typical circumstances for an injection following an acute game-related injury. Thoughts on it?
I mean, don't use it too much. So I know what this is. I've taken it before, migraines, things like that. Don't use it if you're not.
That's what it is, right?
Yeah, they try to use it in case.
That's as preventative measure.
Yeah, you can't do that, man. Your kidneys will be done failed. You'll be around here broke up. Put it that way.
Right. And last but not least, shout out to Basketball Hall of Fame. Gary Payton has accepted the head basketball coach position at Lincoln University, a small private university in his hometown of Oakland, California. The school enrolls about 500 students and will begin their athletic program in the next school year. So, y'all want to do a wager?
On what?
How quickly he would be tossed out?
Just kicked out of a game?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I think he probably done chill down, man.
I think it might be the second game. Let's get him through the first because he wants to schedule Division I schools.
I think the second game. I say the third quarter of the second game. No, the fourth quarter of the second game.
They're going by quarters now?
I mean, not quarters. Second half. I'm sorry. The second half.
I thought they might not, but
no, second half of the last 4 minutes
of the second game.
Yeah, I think he gets kicked out.
I'm giving him 4.
It's in his DNA, dog. To talk mess, they gonna be like, "Hey, you can't talk mess to the players."
That's gonna be the problem.
Yeah,
he's gonna be talking to the players.
Well, you can't.
He'll talk to the other players on his own.
Well, you can't hit that.
You weak. You. All right, man. We're gonna take a quick shout out to the homie Gary Payton. All right, man. We're gonna take a quick break and we'll be back to discuss where's Lillard. What is Lillard gonna do now? What should he do? Keep it locked.
Join me for a minute. I want you to hear something.
Sports Talk it is.
Welcome! You
listening to the Sports Shock Show, and I'm the Sports Shock Wayne Candy.
The 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, and I'm your host, Mr. Controversy.
Hello and welcome to DNA Sports. This is Don the D and DNA.
What's going on? This is Ace of the A and DNA.
Where we bring the facts about sports.
It's Sports Roundtable. I am your humble host, H.O.
Download the Real 1100 app from your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
Hey, this is Gary Payton. Y'all listen to 3-Point Conversion Radio. It's the bomb.
Get ready. From the oven to your ears, it's now time for the Hot Topic.
Yes, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Your host, Mr. Controversy, with my guy, D Intellectual.
What up?
G in the background. All right, bro. So, we saw what happened with Damian Lillard in Portland. First of all, game 5, I'm sorry, was sick. I don't know. I'm trying to think, have I ever seen a game like that, seen a performance like that? Like, I've seen Jordan go off and score 20 in a quarter and everything, or in like a 5-minute span. But in a big moment like that, the threes he was hitting and they were contested, and that
boy said, I'm just going to put my head down and ball.
I just never seen anything like that, bro. That was crazy. And they were like, from half court fadeaways and
step backs, and
it was one of those, I have to make this.
Yeah,
it wasn't just like, let me just shoot it.
He out here like, these boys not on anything. Let me go.
Right, because I've seen Kobe do it. I remember the Lakers was playing Sacramento and the game was over, but Kobe just kept coming down and just shooting threes and hitting them, and he brought the game close again, but not to the point where it's like desperation, like I have to hit this.
This might help them. If they can go on, like the problems they went through in this first round, it could really help them. But the way they playing basketball, it just don't look.
Well, because they don't have any defense. They're not playing defense.
They're playing a lot of one-on-one
and it's
basketball,
one-on-one.
Man.
So, and a lot of people were saying Dame should leave Portland. Dame should leave. They got rid of Stotts. I was saying I think he's the problem. I'm not gonna say he's the problem, but I would get rid of the coach first, bring in another coach, see if they come up with a different scheme, because they have talent, But I ask you, do you think he should stay? Or
I think it's one of the things, like you just said, give another coach at least some period of time. But it's like, so a lot of Portland's history has been they've got kicked in the behind, right?
Right.
You can start from Bill Walton, right? Mm-hmm. Arguably the greatest college player ever, right? Mm-hmm. He comes in and injures his foot and then continue to have foot problems. Then you go to Bowie. At the time they had Clyde Drexler, so you don't draft Michael Jordan. And Bowie was a monster at the time, right? He come in the same thing. Then this can't happen again, right? Then guess what happened to after that? Brandon Roy, right? Then Greg Oden again, right? But now you get Dame Lillard. You didn't mess up on that.
Yeah.
But now what's wrong is the GM not making the right play. So it's not you don't have – because a player like Dame Lillard probably not going to come around again. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't think it was just the coach. I think the GM got to take a lot of blame in this for a lot of the moves that he made, man. He hasn't surrounded him with a bona fide star.
No, the issue with with the way they built the franchise is – okay, you got him a second scorer in CJ who kind of he started to come. It took a while, right? But their issue probably would go back to the last 5 years has been their front court.
Yep.
It's either Nurkic getting hurt or their whoever's playing, that wing or that power forward. It just isn't enough. Just some dudes. It's just some dudes. It'll be like Mo Harkless and Enes Kanter, and they're not players who are going to be any
and as much as
who aren't defensive stoppers, but they aren't scorers when you need them to be.
And
maybe Kanter, but
as much as I love Covington, he from the crib and everything, but you know what I'm saying? He's not going.
Analytics has carried him a very long way in his career because a lot of analytics people love him.
But see, here's the thing. That's why it comes to coaching, because if you have the right coach, we saw it. We saw it in what Tibbs did in New York. First of all, we saw it. We saw how a team that wasn't good defensively turned into the number one defensive team in the league. So what I'm saying is, they have the pieces. You talk about Covington. Use Covington as what he is. He's a defender. He's the 3D. So if you get the right coach that can put him in the right situation.
I feel like he has.
No, he's played well.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying I just don't think he's still putting the right. I don't think he's being used to the best of his abilities. As far as putting him in the right situations, defense with a defensive scheme. You have, and of course they missed your boy. He got hurt again. What's my guy name? Zach Collins, but he can just go
the
home. Other
guy.
Zach
Collins can just go home.
I can't think of his name.
How many games has he played in his career? 6. Seriously?
7.
Oh, okay, my fault.
But that's Portland tradition. Everybody get hurt.
But also with that, you have Dame Lillard. You have to have him a bona fide star next to him. You can't win alone. Let me ask you this, Greg. If they go get a great coach, put a great scheme in, do you see them beat any of the top 4 teams in the West?
If they have what?
Go get a coach and he put a better defensive scheme in. Do you see them beating any of the top 3 to 4 teams in the West with the team that they currently have?
I think it's possible.
Think so. I just don't see it.
But the issue, like I said, well, for me, the glaring issue for me is their front court, because all teams have to do is just, attack from inside, and with Denver able to win with their point center, it's a different way, but it's right. And then I think also offensively it is a lot of ISO, get Dame the ball,
or CJ the ball.
It's almost the Bel Air Academy offense, almost. But Lillard will pass it sometimes, but who pass to who? CJ.
Yeah. Maybe Melo.
Norm Powell.
Yeah. And see, Norm,
but
I like the Norm. That's why I say he got pieces. I just don't think that stops. He was using them correctly. If
but
you bring in another coach.
Part of it is, kind of like what happened with Boston, just needing a new voice. Stotts has been there 9 years. Him and Lillard came in at the same time.
Right.
So, it kind of ran its course. If he had been there maybe like 4 years at this point, we're probably not really talking about Stotts being fired.
Right.
But at 9 years, and
that's what it was.
You've only got, you've got now the first round 3 times. And then, even though they may have overachieved 2 years ago when they made the Western Conference Finals, it seemed like they regressed. Yeah. Because they were like the 2 or 3 seed, and then they're the 8th seed next year.
But see, that's also part of my point. It's not that they regressed as a team. It's that every other team in the West got better.
And that's but I think
but they GMs got them better.
Right. And that's why I said I think you need a coach. Because they've added people along, and I think the talent is worth it. But if you have the same coach who's preaching no defense, and we're playing one-on-one basketball, and you only have 2 guys that's really good on one-on-one, I mean, Carmelo, yeah, but that's it. It's not going to work when everybody else, like you said, is getting better. It won't work. So Kawhi, we saw Kawhi ball out. So they still in it. They still have a chance, even though, and we'll get into that, basically talking about the series, but if he doesn't win if he doesn't get out the Western Conference or even get to the Western Conference, do you think he's going as well?
No, I think he's where he want to be. Now, I think he's going to stay in L.A. Now, if he leaves,
that's what I'm saying. Do you think he's going to leave?
I don't think he's going to leave the Clippers. I think he where he wants to be. But I think they need to do more with the team, like scheme wise, get a guaranteed point guard. They need a voice in the locker room, like I know he's going to be very expensive. They probably can't get him a Kyle Lowry. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's going to really lead the team. But I don't think he's going to lead.
They need the point guard issue that's been their issue all year. And they tried to make some moves. I mean, they They thought Reggie Jackson was going to work, but he's more of a scoring point guard that you bring off the bench. You can start him sometimes. I think they really tried to get Lonzo Ball, and that didn't work. So they might have to wait for a restricted free agency for him. And then and they kept trotting Patrick Beverly out there, who's not giving you anything offensively.
But the scheme, again, I don't know if it's because of personnel, but it's still 1-on-1. And I hear what you're saying, but he can opt out this year, I think, right? Or
Kawhi, yes.
He can opt out.
And of course they do that so
he
they can
opt
get money.
out.
But do you think if they don't get past, if they lose Game 7, you don't think it's a wrap?
No, I don't think he's gonna lose.
I mean, I think he'll opt out either way.
Right, but do you think he's leaving?
To go where?
I
mean, some team will have to have a great pitch to make him leave home again.
It can be an LA Lakers. It can be.
Do they have money? Do they have Kawhi money?
No.
I'm trying to think. Is Golden State?
I don't know if Golden State has.
Because they use their trade. They use their trade.
Because he can do it 2 years.
He
still can do the 2-year option.
They probably got to do a sign and trade with like Wiggins or something because Wiggins is due to make like $30 million.
That's what they would have to do.
So and LeBron is there for one more year. But
22, 23 ends his contract.
Right. So
he
got opt out
I
that
think
year.
he's gonna retire
After this year?
No.
After next year?
Contract.
No, I think he wants to play with his son.
Play with Bronny?
I think that's the only reason he would.
But the only reason why I don't think he would retire because he's still playing at a high level. Remember, he was injured and he's still.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but
he's a walking 26-8-8.
He literally has nothing else to prove but to play with his son.
The thing is now, I think with the Lakers, I think he's going to stay, but I think just some different roster moves have to be made. Yeah. We know what LeBron needs on his team. We've known that for the last 10 years. Yeah. And
they did surround him with no shooters.
Right.
The Lakers.
And so they didn't have this, so that affected. And then
all
when
year they
hurt,
was one of the worst 3-point shooters, right?
And when him being hurt, then it kind of limits what he can actually do, which affects what everyone else can actually do.
So look,
I know they're going to have to get rid of Kyle Kuzma. He probably told them, "You don't even come to the locker room."
So Mike, shout out to Mike Patton, and they going in the chat room. Mike says Kawhi to Miami is possible. They said he been wanting to play with.
If he would go
Jimmy
anywhere,
Butler
that's
anyway.
the only place I think he would.
It's
go.
Look at G getting happy, dog.
No, it's a long shot. I think it's a long shot, and it's not a priority. Miami needs a point guard too.
Yeah, that's why Jimmy. But that's what happened. That's why.
Okay, but the difference is with Miami, they don't. They might need a point guard, but they need a point guard because Miami moves the ball. See, the problem with the problem with the Clippers. Problem with the Clippers, you're right. But I'm saying the problem with the Clippers is not because they need a point guard. The problem with the Clippers is they need to move the ball and stop playing 1-on-1. Miami doesn't play 1-on-1.
That's true, but they
so you don't necessarily need a point guard if you're moving the ball around.
No, the thing is with Jimmy Butler changed how he plays the last 2 years to where he was the point guard. And if he has to be their scorer too, and it's be their leading scorer, make all the plays and make all the passes, that's going that I think that wore him down, and that limits what everyone else can do because they can't do that. Like Goran Dragic is getting older. Tyler Hero and Kendrick Nunn aren't those kind of players.
They aren't in the bubble. Right.
No, Kendrick Nunn played a whole lot.
No, he played good, but I'm talking about Tyler.
Oh, yeah, Tyler.
He's not in the bubble. But again, that would take a load off with Kawhi. So as we wrap up, y'all say Dame right now, Dame should stay.
I think he should get the new coach.
What coach? What coach? So right now, this is what I heard. This is what I saw. We saw it was Jason Kidd, Chauncey Billups. Sometimes I think they just put. Well, he was an assistant coach's job. Sometimes I think they just put him in there just to put his name in.
They do be doing it. I feel like.
You know, it's like putting Rashida in the best rapper, female rapper, with the award. She always in there, knowing she ain't did it. But anyway.
Wow, what she got to do with
my bad, but I'm just saying, but that's how they do her, though.
Fired.
But anyway, but Chauncey Billups, then I even heard.
Well, it came out last night. Lillard said he wants Jason Kidd.
I think Jason
So
Kidd
they should
deserves
get
another
him.
shot too, man. Like
They said Juwan Howard from Michigan also.
Michigan too, yeah. I don't think that's
But
what happened.
it's-
I think it's gonna be Jason Kidd.
But it should be-
if Damian Lillard,
if he
if
wants
you want
Jason
him to
Kidd,
stay,
you better get.
and you're
better
giving
get
him
Kidd.
input,
If you go get
Jason Kidd.
If you go get Stan Van Gundy or Jeff Van Gundy or some coach that don't have no experience,
Lillard will
they're
retire.
gonna get me out of here.
I ain't gonna lie. I would love to see.
He had to
I don't
pull a
think
Carson
Jeff-
Palmer or
I don't-
Aaron Rodgers
I
and
don't
just go
think-
home.
I don't
I'm
think
just
Jeff
going
is
home.
good for them, but I like Jeff Van Gundy. As a
I do,
coach.
but
Not
you
for
gotta-
this team.
You have to.
It's been a long
you have
time
to-
too, right? It's been a very long time since
Yeah,
he coached.
it's been
you know what
like
I mean?
10 years.
You have to get who he wants.
He won't. That's it.
And
That's it. You better hire
And
Jason
one
Kidd.
thing you know about Jason Kidd, if you're losing, he's gonna find a way to get a timeout. So
He'll
all
walk
right.
on the court.
See, you understand.
Did he knock a couple?
That's what I'm talking about.
He told the dude, like hit me.
Hit me. That's what I'm talking about. But all right, man. We're gonna take a quick break. We will be right back to talk more basketball. Keep it locked.
And now an important message from Jerry Rice.
As a career wide receiver, I've been hit hard. But no training nor practice prepared us for the devastation of COVID-19. Thankfully, there is hope. Even with multiple vaccines available, we still have to work together until everyone is safe. We all win when we unite to prevent.
For more information, visit unitetoprevent.org.
Hey, I'm Diana Taurasi from the Phoenix Mercury, and you're listening to the 3-Point Conversion Radio.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, and we have a special guest. We have Mr. Joel, or Joel. I say Joel, but Joel. You got to let me know how do you pronounce it, because we got the Joel Embiid. Some people say Joel. Some people say he's always hurt. But either or, we have Mr. Joel Cortez from Basketball Association Podcasts. How you doing today, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm super excited to be here. Basically, you guys can call me whatever you want, but Joel is one for most people. I just want to start by giving a shout-out to Atlanta Hawks fans. That had to feel really, really good to get that series win over the Knicks when a lot of people, including myself, were not giving them enough confidence and credit going into that one. So congrats.
No doubt. Don't feel bad, because
like you said, nobody.
D slandered me in the beginning of the season, in the middle of the season. Like, everybody didn't believe it. So I understand why people didn't believe.
At the time they wasn't playing well.
Yeah, but they were hurt. They were injured. That's why I knew. Like, when they made that when Coach got fired, I knew that's why I was
check
like,
the archives, because didn't you pick the Hawks?
Yeah, I think I did.
No,
and I did
in the
too.
playoffs. I'm talking about in the middle of the season. He said no. I was saying back then, I was like, they're going to be 4th, 5th seed in the playoffs. I was saying that. But either or, speaking of the Hawks, do they have enough to beat the 76ers if Embiid plays or not?
They absolutely do if Embiid does not play. I think they're going to be in that series either way if Embiid does, because we don't know if he comes back, if it's going to be, Joel hobbling around the court, which we've seen in series before, and we've seen in stretches of games before, like you said, because he's not healthy often enough. If it's full strength Joel Embiid, which I don't think is going to happen on a torn meniscus, that's a different thing. But Atlanta showed something. They showed up and showed out against the Knicks. The defense was better than advertised. Their poise looked a year or two ahead of schedule, which was really, I think, the concern for the Hawks. It's not about their weapons. They've got plenty of those, and their ability to attack you from multiple different angles, to be shooters, to be athletic up front. They've got a bunch of guys at the wing position who are all kind of interchangeable and switchy, which really helps them protect some of their weaker defenders like Trae Young or Gallinari, Lou Williams too, and then big guys up front, and John Collins and Clint Capella, who they get above the rim on both sides of the court, and they're just really, really active. So Atlanta's going to bring something against Philadelphia, and the Sixers are in trouble if Ben Simmons cannot step up and be a superstar player who can lead a team through a series, and Tobias Harris can't step up and be better than a third wheel. Like, both of those guys are going to have to play above their credentials. The Sixers have plenty of shooters. They've got plenty of wings who can match up with the Hawks and make it tough. But what the Sixers don't have is a lot of other guys who can create their own shots and manufacture offense. And the Hawks showed enough that they've got a good enough defense to take advantage of that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what you hear from everybody. They're a year or two ahead of schedule. They can't win. They're not supposed to. But we'll see. I think it's going to be a great series. Now, the Bucks and Nets series might be the best semifinals matchup. What would be the keys to this matchup, and who do you have winning?
I think the key ultimately is Giannis's ability to punish the Brooklyn Nets inside and to kind of run through Nets defenders. They're weak up front. There's not a lot of bodies there for Brooklyn when you really look at the fact that Jeff Green may or may not play in the series, and that was going to be one of the key defenders on Giannis. So if he can get Blake Griffin and Nick Claxton in early foul trouble, then all of a sudden it's Kevin Durant having to guard. Kevin Durant's got to step up on Giannis at that point. And if you can get Durant in foul trouble, now you've changed the equation. The Bucks have to kind of pick their poison elsewhere. Giannis is going to guard KD an awful lot. And you can put Drew Holiday on James Harden or Kyrie Irving and know that Holiday is going to do as good of a job as anybody in the league. But you can't guard both of those guys. One of Irving or Harden is going to be running free against a much weaker defender on the Milwaukee side. So you've got to kind of blow through the Nets front line, get a bunch of guys in foul trouble. Giannis cannot defer like he did in that earlier series in the first round, where it made sense because Miami had a lot of defenders kind of better equipped to face Giannis, and so he was kicking the ball out, and guys like Bryn Forbes were really playing well. Those guys all still have to shoot the ball incredibly well. That's true because Brooklyn's going to get their points either way. But this really comes down to, is Giannis an MVP, playoff MVP? Can he raise his team through a series? I'm picking Milwaukee because I believe he can do it, and I'm not a big believer in the Nets' chemistry yet. When it gets into a really, really tough series like that, they haven't faced that kind of adversity yet.
I think that DiVincenzo, what's his last name?
DiVincenzo, yeah.
I think that was a big injury.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is, because that's a good system defender. It's a guy like Chris Middleton that you can throw out there and he'll compete. He's not going to make a ton of mistakes, but yeah, Milwaukee. And the flip side, like if the Nets can run through some of the Milwaukee guard defenders, if you can get Drew Holiday in early foul trouble, now all of a sudden you're looking at Pat Connaughton and Bryn Forbes having to play bigger minutes. And while those guys are really helpful offensively, you don't want Bryn Forbes out there trying to guard Kyrie Irving for as good of a three-point shooter as Forbes is. Like, that can be really damaging to the Bucks. So both teams are kind of imbalanced in the wrong way against each other, and it's going to come down to who can take advantage of that first.
And once again, we're here with Mr. Joe Cordes from Basketball by Association Podcast. Now, will the experience of Chris Paul and Jay Crowder play a factor in this Suns Jazz series? And if not, what will it come down to?
Well, first Phoenix has to get through the Nuggets, and that's going to be really, really tough. I think Phoenix can do it. I'm picking the Nuggets in 7 games over Phoenix, but the Suns also showed something in their series against Portland. They're ahead of schedule, and they were not against Portland, against the Lakers. The Suns were L.A., and they withstood some adversity. The Nuggets obviously have Jokic, but they don't really have guards to punish Phoenix. So if we see a Suns and Jazz series, I think that's entirely possible in the West.
I'm sorry, I meant Nuggets. I apologize, Joe. I meant Nuggets. I've had Jazz. I meant Nuggets. I apologize. The Nuggets.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, I mean, Phoenix is going to get tested up front by Jokic and his ability to pass to those big forwards like Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon, who are so switchy on both ends of the floor. The Nuggets, on the other hand, they got good minutes out of Campazzo and Austin Rivers and, Monte Morris, and they're going to need even better minutes, I think, than they did in that Portland series. It's a big X factor for Denver, whether Will Barton is able to show up and give them anything during this matchup, as that's another scorer and a guy who can manufacture some offense. We don't know what his health capability is going to be. But Phoenix's ability, really, they remind me so much of Atlanta in a lot of ways. They can attack you from a bunch of different angles. They're athletic up front. They're better passers and better defenders than they're given credit for. So I see that one going 7 games, and I'm picking the Nuggets just because Denver keeps seeming to weather adversity and be an underdog over the last couple of years in series, and yet they just find a way to get through it. But I'm not really confident in that Nuggets pick at all. I think Phoenix absolutely, the door is wide open. Now that they showed they can get past the Lakers, that was the bugaboo sneaking out there for everybody in the West. And with the Lakers gone, this field is wide open for anybody.
He said, I'm picking them, but I'm not too confident.
Yeah, not at all.
All right, now, so we saw the Clippers win last night. We know they got another game tomorrow. But even beyond that, what do you think's going on with them? I know that Dallas is a good team, and they're coming up, but the Clippers haven't looked great in a lot of the games. What do you think the biggest issue is?
I think they really need a third guy to be able to step up and give them 20 points, 18 points consistently. And where we've found that their depth is not as good as advertised, they only played 4 guys off their bench last night, and nobody played more than 11 minutes. I don't know if that's sustainable, but one of the big strengths the Clippers were supposed to have was this kind of immaculate depth, and they're not finding that against Dallas, and it's coming on both ends of the court. Guys are out there and they're not shooting well, but they're not playing defense either. And so much is falling on Kawhi Leonard and Paul George on both ends, and more or less they've answered that call. And I think Ty Lue has found his starting group going small like this, that he can trust those 5 guys out there. Reggie Jackson played pretty well last night, and Marcus Morris did a phenomenal job really making things for Boban Marjanovic. Morris was only 1 of 10 from the floor, so they've got to be able to get two-way contributions more consistently, and they need somebody like Reggie Jackson to step up and be that third scorer. It can be a different guy on different nights, but it's got to be somebody. Otherwise, I think that's where the Clippers' Achilles heel is. It's coming down to their 2 stars too often, and on paper, there's no excuse for that.
Well, all right. There you have it, Mr. Joe Cortez with Basketball by Association podcast. We definitely appreciate you for coming on, sir, and definitely going to have you back coming up.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it, guys, and you can catch Basketball by Association on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you get your podcast, and I appreciate you guys bringing me on.
No problem. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we have to talk about this Coach K situation.
Wow.
Man.
Wow.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app. iHeartRadio. Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
Hello. I'm Renee Montgomery of the Atlanta Dream, and you're dreaming with a 3-point conversion. Let's get it.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. I brought up Rashida, y'all, because everybody's like, why he bring up Rashida? So let me break it down. The reason why I did that because, and no disrespect to her, but, and it's not her because I don't think she has anything to do with it. It'd be the Grammys or BET, like, I guess because they looking for that third, the third nominee for the best women's rap, best rap artist, women's rap artist, whatever. But she's always in there no matter what. Like, they always put her down. It's like, why are y'all doing that when she hadn't put up a... And I bet you she think the same thing, like, okay, stop using me just for y'all advantage.
Oh, so you're talking about like at the Soul Train Awards or the BET Hip Hop Awards.
Even the Grammy, every time it's a female rap artist, they always...
But she's never been nominated for a Grammy.
Well, every time it's a female rap artist, her name always comes up, and she hadn't had an album and and that's why, and like I said, it's no disrespect to her, but it's to the whatever the event is, like, stop doing that. Like, I promise you, she's like, why are y'all using me knowing I ain't putting nothing out?
Well, look, there can only be at most 2 female rappers that are popular at a time.
Right.
Only 2 at a time.
Ever.
But
just like
right now, it's Meg and Cardi B.
It's like black comedians. It only could be what one
comedian be in the movies.
So, and that's why I say that. So it's no disrespect to her. It's more so towards BET Awards, the Soul Train, all of that. They always got to put her. Come on, man. She ain't did an album in 18 years, but she
probably
nominated. Right, I know she like. Well, I didn't even get
I don't get it either.
That's why I said it's no slight to her.
No, she probably like, bring me the attention. I need all the attention I get. She tried to sell this.
She ain't got nothing sold. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm not talking about albums. Everything else, all the other money she making.
But anyway,
hold on. I checked her Spotify. I think she just put a song out.
Stupid. All right, so with Coach K, man. He's not here. When I say he's not here, as far as like, that's how it feels, really. Like, he's not. The fact that he mentioned that, like, I wish he wouldn't have said anything. I wish he'd have just blindsided us. But it's like now, like, Duke doesn't have a coach yet. And what I mean by that is they have a coach, but I'm talking about right now. I just felt like they don't have a coach. Well, like, he's gone. When you heard the news, what was your take on that? Like, how did you feel?
So first we were still reeling from Danny Ainge stepping down and Brad Stevens taking over.
Right.
And I was still trying to figure out during that period of time, how do you fall forward, right? Like, Brad Stevens, we were just trying to decide whether or not he was going to be on the hot seat or not. Because they hadn't did nothing. They was okay this year, whatever the case. And he don't get fired for being a coach. He gets promoted to be a basketball operator. So I was trying to get over there, right? Then I hear Coach K retired. Wait, what? Coach K don't retire? That's like the one constant in basketball. College basketball is Coach K. Coach K gonna be there.
Right.
But look, Roy Williams just retired. You know what I mean? Like, they're getting older, man, and we have to realize that. At first I thought that it was probably because of the way the dynamics have changed within college basketball. He actually has dispelled that already. He said he just want to spend time with his wife and his family. Everybody is around him. He just want to go ahead and spend time with him. We're going to miss him. We definitely going to miss him. I can't imagine college basketball without him. I am happy that he's giving us a year ahead of time so we can, enjoy it. And it's good for his recruits, so they won't be thinking that he's going to be there going forward. Right. They know what the deal is.
Well, I was shocked. The reason why I say I was shocked, I was shocked, but I wasn't. It's funny because it's like, I always use this analogy, it's like $1 million. I mean, right now, it ain't as much as, it's still a lot to me, forget it. So right now, if you, $1 million or $1 billion, you know it's there, you know it's real, but until it's right, and when it's in your face, you like, oh, snap. Mm-hmm. So I knew it was a chance he might leave, especially how everything is going, especially when Roy Williams left. Just how college basketball, as the players, they're using the transfer portal, just so much people leaving after a year to go to college. My guy quit on him, in a sense, this year. So you knew that it could be it could be a chance. But when you hear it, it's like, nah, like really. Right. So I say that somebody said Coach K lying. So it was shocked to hear it all, even though when I really think about it, I'm not surprised. Now, G, were you surprised?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like it was coming soon. I thought maybe like 5 years from now, because it was like, I think Coach K was going to wait for Boeheim to retire first, and then he'll retire. But hey, man, just think about this, y'all. You've been at a job, the same job, for 41 years.
Yeah.
How do you stay motivated? How does it stay fresh? And think about what it's, how it's, I don't think it's affected his family in a bad way, but he's in his 70s now.
Yeah, he's 74, right?
Yeah.
So it's, and he has nothing else to prove. He's got 5 national championships. He's the all-time winningest coach in the history of college basketball.
Mike say 186.
It's been. And look, that last championship was 6 years ago. I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah, I mean
that's college basketball. That's how who wins back to back besides Coach K.
I mean, it's Coach K,
Billy
man,
Donovan.
and
Billy Donovan. But
some people question will he be going to the league? No, I think he's done.
It's done.
I think he's
done.
No,
he's
gonna go to the league. You'd have did that 20 years ago.
So let me ask you about his legacy.
It was almost the Lakers. He almost went to the Lakers.
So we know his legacy is solidified. We know that. But where would you rank him as far as all-time coaches? Do you think he's the greatest?
In college?
College.
Yeah. I mean, if not John Wooden was there because of the domination he had during that period of time. But if you talk about the longevity and what he did for Duke, like you knew every year, right? Duke was going to be there. When they fell out, was it this year when they fell out of the top 25 and North Carolina fell out and everybody was like, like you know how surprised we were? So for me, he would definitely be number one.
But here's the thing, I would always say that I always thought, God, I can't think of his name. Michigan State, Izzo. I thought Izzo was the best current coach because he doesn't get the recruits that Duke, North Carolina.
And somehow at the end of the year, he top 5.
Yeah, they always making it to the Elite 8 or something like that. Mm-hmm. But you just said it. When you think of longevity and who he is, it's like it's got to be Coach K. Like, so.
I mean, Izzo would have to do it for another 20 years.
my first memory of Coach K, I still remember. And I remember my father, and it's really not a good memory of him, like for his sake, but was in 90, and the championship game against UNLV. And I remember this is the first time I was introduced to Coach K. My father was like, "Yo, he looks nervous. Look at the wrinkles. Look at his bags on his eyes. He didn't sleep." Mm-hmm. I think that was his first. Was that his first finals, G? I think that might have been his first. What was his first finals?
86.
Okay, 86 he coached. See, okay, but I know, well, maybe he was saying, the 90 was the first time I vividly remember him, and I guess because he was playing against UNLV. And, of course, UNLV ripped one in him. Mm-hmm. But I remember that. But then, like you said, he was 86, but he just, every time, back then, everybody was getting good recruits, but he was always, they just went on that run.
I couldn't stand Duke.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
I like North Carolina.
I hated Duke.
I like North Carolina because of Mike, but also I didn't like Duke because I didn't like Christian Laettner. Again, Jalen Rose speak about it a lot. You know, as we were coming up, we liked Michigan, right? We were Michigan, right? Duke was like that. You know, I want to say it like that, but that that team that black boys go to when they out in the suburbs. You know what I mean? Like that team there.
And the thing that was weird is that like it came off that way because of the kind of school Duke is, but Christian Laettner's not that guy.
Yeah, no, he's like
Bobby Hurley wasn't that guy.
Yeah, facts, right?
Maybe Danny Ferry, but
coming out going to
like they're from the suburbs and they got everything handed to them. Yeah. They weren't those kind of guys. It just came off that way because they're white.
Well, usually because those are the best basketball players, right? the guys that are not in the suburbs.
I mean, but that's how Duke comes off.
Right, it comes off.
But when they end up at Duke, then that's what they like. That's what they are. Regardless of the
whole time we think they end up going to school and they actually partying and kicking it. And
the only one was Grant Hill. And we never thought that unless you knew his background.
There's a Duke story I'll tell y'all off the air. It's okay. It's this a family show.
Okay. So let me ask you this then. So with Duke now choosing John Shayer as their next coach, he came out and he was, I understand what Coach K was, but this is no pressure to me. Like, give him a stop it. That should have been my stop.
Stop it.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely got to get.
Right.
There's definitely pressure on you, dude.
So we all believe that, right? That
there's pressure on him.
Yeah.
But first off, you let's take the following Coach K out, right? You at Duke. You're at Duke.
That it's one and the same.
Right. In fact,
it's one and the same.
In fact, like you're following Coach K at Duke.
Look,
I mean, dude.
It's like you put it like this. I told you this is like when every coach that's followed Bear Bryant at Alabama, there was pressure on them immediately.
Right.
Like back when winning your conference was a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
There was one coach. They won the SEC. They were like 10-2, 11-2. People were coming to his house, like putting his house up for sale, hassling him when he goes to the grocery store. He eventually quit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's like, and Gene Stallings won a national championship, eventually got fired. So there's pressure when you follow a coach like that.
John and even Hubert Davis, don't think y'all got like 5 to 10 years to not be.
Oh, there's pressure on them immediately.
Like y'all got this has to be happening now. You guys need to be winning within the next year, 2, 3 years. You know what I mean?
Bring up Hubert Davis. I think Hubert Davis looking at just like, man, I wouldn't want to be in this position.
That's definitely.
and he took over Roy Williams.
Right. But Roy was over there, what, 20?
Huh?
Roy was there, what, 20
No,
years?
16.
16
something like that. Yeah.
So it's a good point by Dave. I want to say
real quick. Oh, go ahead.
He said Coach K got caught up in the one and done movement, so as a team, Duke suffered, and then that's when the national champions.
But he still got one doing it that way.
He did, but
he got one doing it. That way.
That's what it say, one and done.
Yeah, that's why I had to break it down. I knew it couldn't have been one.
Right. The woman.
But yeah, I agree with that he did, but he had to because everybody was doing it. You know what I mean? I was trying to figure it out. I promise you that I got it together.
Before we go, I want to ask y'all: Do you feel like we will start to see Izzo? Boeheim said he about to get this record.
Man,
Boeheim about to win most games.
Ain't he 212? He about 200 or something.
So he about to try to get this record.
He definitely go sit there and catch it.
Right, but who do you think this will be a trend though?
No, man. I think it was just a time.
Roy Williams was there at the top. I really believe when your boy quit, that was it for Coach K. When old boy sat down the season, I can't think of his name.
I know you're talking about. I mean, that's part of it.
Jalen
Johnson.
Yeah,
I think that was part of it, but it's like if he feels like he can't reach the players the way he normally has, or that he has to convince someone to come for 1 year, and that's all he's going to get.
And I gotta convince you. Look at his bench. His bench is comprised of who? All his old players who were there for 3, 4, you know what I'm saying, years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And quick, did anybody have a problem with the hire of Shire?
I didn't. I know some people wanted Tommy Amaker or Bobby Hurley
or Hawkins.
Or Johnny Dawkins.
It don't matter. It doesn't matter.
But it was someone who they did the same thing in North Carolina. It was someone who's already there,
and he was the associate head. Right. Like he was right there. So,
and he's the lead recruiter too. Yeah, that's a big deal.
It makes sense. All right. Well, we're gonna take a quick break, and we will be back with the Stop It segment. Keep it locked.
Hey, what's good? It's your boy Nate Burles from the NFL Network and CBS. When the illest to do it. Hey, you listening to the 3-Point Conversion Radio. Don't you go anywhere. It's lit. It's lit.
AM 1100.
The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
Big ups to our Sports Lounge crew for keeping the airwaves blazing each and every Saturday. But I want to send another special shout out to our team of writers at the 3-Point Conversion. You can visit us at 3pointconversion.com. You can also like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. How about the Gram? How about iHeart? How about Spreaker Radio? How about wherever you need, baby? We got you covered.
No mercy, don't let up on him. Go hard on him, Mr. Controversy. Hit him with the stop it button.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. I'd like to thank everyone who is listening or watching live. We definitely appreciate you, whether it's on the radio, on YouTube, Facebook, 3pointconversion.com, wherever you listening to, iTunes, all of that. We appreciate you. This segment, before we do the segment, I want to say make sure y'all go ahead and follow the 3pointconversion.com. Follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram and Facebook at the 3-Point Conversion. All right, and not just support the show, but support the 3-Point Conversion sports company as a whole. We definitely appreciate that. Now it is time for the most infamous, the most famous Stop It segment. Let's get it!
Stop, hey. Stop, 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 stop. Stop it! Stop it, stop it.
Yes, S-T-O-P, new word, I-T. Stop it!
Stop it. Get some help.
All right, D, it's on you, sir. Where's your stop it?
So some coaches at an Ohio school, Canton McKinley, the head football coach, 2 of his assistant and assistant baseball coach has been fired because they forced a player to eat pork, which was a violation of his religious beliefs.
Stop it.
So they're saying that they made him like sit in the middle of the gym after being out for a couple days, and it was a pepperoni pizza, and they said, well, he took the pepperoni off, but residue still stayed. So yeah, that happened.
Stop it.
I don't know why people think they can still do you can't do anything now. Like, you know how we used to get disciplined back in the day.
Hold on, that was the excuse they had.
Yeah,
that was an excuse.
We didn't make him eat pork. It was just pepperoni residue.
Yeah. Right.
We let him take it off.
Stop it.
Not tripping.
Like, you can't do nothing no more. Like, and you remember why we had them coaches that be all in your face and grab you and do all this? Yeah, you can't do that no more.
Nope. My stop it goes to Miami Dolphins head coach Brian Flores. So Tua, he doesn't get a stop it because it was just dumb. It wasn't a stop it. He was telling the truth. It was stupid to say. He came out and he was saying that he didn't know the playbook. It was plays that he didn't run. When they was about to run a play, he knew it wasn't going to work. And then he didn't know the playbook very well. He really didn't know the playbook back then. So Brian Flores came out and says, well, honestly, I think he was just comparing last year to this year right and where he is right now. And I definitely understand that.
Stop it.
No, he wasn't. He was telling the truth. And let's be real. We know y'all got in him. Y'all should have traded him after that. Like, why would you say something like that? Yeah. I understand.
And people could know because this year was hard. So, but like you said, you don't have to say it.
Why would you say you don't know? Like, his linemen should wide receivers. So you mean you just took money out my pocket, bro? Because you didn't know the playbook. Yeah.
Stop it.
Go ahead, G.
All right, mine goes to. It has to go to LeBron James, for the free promo for his movie. I know the off season started. The off season started once AD got hurt. The off season started for you, but I don't know. It was just I just cringed really when he started talking about. I think I'm not going to play with the Olympics. I'm going to focus on the game versus the Goon Squad. Like, come on, man. I don't know if the NBA will let you do free promo for your movie like that. I mean, get your money, but I know. It was just weird that you would answer it with all the seriousness.
Stop it.
And my other one goes to, I thought this was a fake thing. I know some people don't really deal with mayo, with mayonnaise in any kind of way. But I saw a picture of a grocery store aisle in which there was chunky mayo. Like chunky peanut butter or chunky salsa.
Right, chunky mayo.
There's chunky mayo. Chunks of what? I don't know. I don't know.
What is mayo? Like, it's not like it's a fruit that you go get mayo from and go have chunks of the fruit in it. So, like,
yeah.
Do you want some chunks of your mail?
Like, these are for the fans of cottage cheese, but they don't want the cheese part.
That's nasty.
And someone tweeted, "What in God's name is chunky mayo?" My daughter said, "This looks like something the boss level Karen would put in her potato salad."
The boss level,
the boss level Karen.
The boss level Karen.
So. Can I get a real quick stop it? I hope G has enough time to put this up. He probably don't. I don't know. But this is my dog. This is my guy. My guy Nurkic. Did y'all see the jacket? The suit jacket
No.
Yeah.
No.
You can put it on YouTube too if they whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's my stuff.
Well, this is just the picture, right?
Yeah, and it's mine.
Okay.
Yeah, I put it up. You know what I'm saying?
All
The
right,
3-point
hold
version
on.
put it up. So, but if on the radio, he has on a multi-colored suit. So not even a multi-colored. He has. It's like he has two suits on.
Two-tone.
Yeah, two-tone suit.
jacket.
One half of the suit is gray. The other half of the suit is brown. It's a two-piece. That's literally a two-piece suit. But we're gonna put it for those that are on not Instagram, but YouTube and Facebook watching.
You need to stop it for thinking he was gonna stop Joker.
And if y'all go to y'all can go to the Facebook page.
All right, if y'all watching it, here we go.
Look at this. This is ridiculous. And I want comments and everything. And we're going to take a break. But I want comments. This dude is tripping. Did you see it, D?
I'm waiting on it.
Oh, you should see it now. Because it is, I don't know what in the world he was thinking. So
what?
When y'all see this, man.
He need that the Westbrook face.
Yeah, so I want the comments. I want all the comments, y'all.
All right, here's his stop it for this jacket.
Stop it.
And thought he was hurting him too.
Two-Face and Batman Forever would be proud of that.
Anyway, yeah. All right, we're going to take a quick break. And we'll be right back.
Let me break down to y'all what's so dope about the three-point conversion. First of all, everybody is a fan of the game first. Second of all, everybody is a student of the game second. And third of all, we're the average sports fan just like everybody else. We're not coming in here, walking with our nose tipped high, acting snooty, acting brand new. This is a grassroots organization. Bar none. The three-point conversion, where fans' opinions matter. Be sure to visit the website www.the3pointconversion.com. Get your fix, get your articles, multimedia, and everything else that you, as a sports fan, need. So again, the3pointconversion.com. It's where it's at, man, where fans' opinions matter.
What's up? This is Gilbert Arenas rocking with the 3-Point Conversion Radio. Y'all tune in. Holla at your boy.
Yeah, we back. We are back.
What up, what up, what up?
Once again, we're back. So, the player who has been the most impressive in the first round.
I had two.
You can choose one. Who you got?
Because of the game last night, I'm going to have to go with Joker.
Last night?
Yeah, Doncic didn't have a great game.
Oh, I'm like, okay.
If he had had another one of them games that he had been having, yeah, I probably would have went with him. But Joker has been just,
I got
like, geez.
Look, I have two, but I'm gonna say what? I'm gonna just say him because of it came not out of nowhere, but a lot of people didn't see him doing this. I gotta say Trey. I think he's been the most. I wanted to say Kawhi. I think Kawhi maybe had one game where he didn't play as well, but I'm gonna give Trey with the wow factor because Trey has been consistent every game. Like every game is what he averaged 27.5 and a half, and it
something
was
like that.
And it was like that because he got.
I know in 4 of the games he had 30.
Yeah, 30. He had 30 and 10. I know he had 10 assists in each game except for game 5, and so yeah, I got to give it to Trae Young.
See, he definitely did his thing. I know that the Knicks had defense, but I knew that they didn't have a point guard type of defense, right? Like they have nobody that's going to be able to touch Trae. Like I kind of expected him to get off,
but I
don't want to take nothing away from him. You know what I mean?
I don't know because Alfred Payton, whatever his name is, he's a good defender.
By the second game, he wasn't even playing no more because he couldn't do anything on offense.
But that's why
that was the issue. They had these guys who could put on Trey, but they couldn't contribute anything offensively. Alfred Payton wasn't going to do it. Tilakina wasn't going to do it.
Not even that.
Because they brought him in game 1
and got
cold
killed and lost the game.
But they couldn't stop him anyway. Like, and that's the thing. I don't think anyone right now can stop him because the way he does that, he goes in the hole and it's either pick your poison, let him do the teardrop or the alley or whatever.
They gonna put Ben Simmons on him and DeAndre Hunter gonna be down there killing whoever's gonna be sticking.
Well, it's gonna be a risk there too. Yeah. If you go, we just put Ben Simmons on Trey.
I don't think he's fast enough.
Well, it's not even that. It's
like, his feet.
That doesn't mean Trey doesn't know how to pass the ball.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
As long as he don't have a bunch of turnovers, and he don't try to take 11 45-foot threes, it's gonna be.
And they might maybe they could put Matisse Thybulle on him, who's an excellent defender. But what's he going to give you offensively? And he only plays like 18 minutes a game, so you can't keep him out there too long.
Who do you have? Who would you say?
I do appreciate Trey for stepping up. This is his first playoff series, but I would say Devin Booker, especially for taking the opportunity when you had a chance to bury the Lakers. You went out there and did it.
But not to go. He knew we can't go to.
But here's the thing, though. In game 2, and he didn't do that though. That's why I can't give it to. In game 2, when they needed him, when CP3 was out there, wasn't out there, he didn't step up. And that's the only reason why. Like you said, Luka, because of the game he was hurt in game 4. Right. So I was like, all right. But last night he didn't do anything. Joker had a bad game in game 4 as well. He didn't play that well in game 4. So that's why I was like, I can't use him. Mm-hmm. So it was between Kawhi and Trey, and Trey is just the wow factor. I mean, we knew what he can do here, but still, for him to raise his game up, and like Shaq always says, you're supposed to raise your game up in the playoffs, no matter, and that's what he did. That's what Kawhi is doing. So, in saying that, what series are you looking forward to the most?
Bucks and the Nets.
Yeah. I think it's one of them's going to win in 5 games, I feel like.
See,
I don't know if it's
right.
going to go 7.
But that's why I don't look at that as one of the games that I'm like, all right, this is.
But I think it's going to be like 5 very intense games.
Because what's going to usually happen is.
I didn't know Joker had that terrible game 3.
Yeah. Oh, it was 3 or what?
3, yeah, okay. 16.
But what's going to happen is either the Nets is going to allow Milwaukee to score anything and everything, or they're going to follow suit with everybody else in the second round in the playoffs for the last 4 years and build a wall. If they build a wall, then it's going to be like,
be able to move.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, I think it's going to be interesting. I really think it's going to be that Denver Phoenix. The only reason why I say the Denver Phoenix is I want to see if can Chris Paul carry them over, but then like Ayton is good, but Ayton can't do anything. No one can do anything with Joker. But I want to see who else steps up for Denver. Will Monty step up for Denver like he did? Or who's been big for Denver is Rivers.
Yeah.
He's been stepping up.
So let me give Mike Malone his kudos. When Murray went down, what were most of us saying? Oh, they probably ain't going.
Right.
So it wasn't just Joker. So this is what he did. Campazzo. He started him, but Morris, isn't that his name, Monty Morris?
Yeah, Monty Morris.
He ends the game, and he plays more throughout the game. So Campazzo's like, I've been here before. He won plenty Euro championships. And Morris just out there just balling. So I think that was a great move of coaching by him. Instead of throwing Morris into the lineup, right. Changing up what he does, put Campazzo out there because he has all the experience and let Morris come off the bench and finish the game. I like how he did that.
So, but that's the series I'm most interested in.
Like, if this were the 80s, like Denver and Phoenix, like every game would be like 155 to 153. Mm-hmm. So, right. But I mean, it could. I don't know if it'll be that high scoring, but I think it's going to be a lot of. That's going to be an electric series.
Because you have a lot of players that like you mentioned
Jay Crowder on Michael Porter Jr. Probably.
You mentioned Devin Booker. Now Devin, this is what you wanted. We saw what you did the last game. You did it. You closed LA out. That's what you right. That was the next step. Now, can you take an even bigger step and now solidifying who you are and play big in this big series?
The opportunity is there because even though Rivers and Morris have played okay,
you can't stick him.
The backcourt, like Phoenix, clearly has the advantage with the guards.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he should step up or at least definitely take advantage.
Well,
and I know Michael Porter Jr. has been balling. Well, I liked how he did the last game. He started off balling,
right.
Then he just
fizzled out.
I think he went to the crib. But Jay Crowder, after numerously playing against LeBron James, and as much as he has had to in playoffs, I think that's going to be a great matchup for him because he it's like he can physically take him out the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it probably doesn't. He probably doesn't have to be physical. I think it's going to be. Can Jay Crowder get to him mentally?
Yeah, I think that's going to be huge
because the way that Jay Crowder trolled LeBron throughout the series, this might be a piece of cake.
And at the end of this series, when he said it, and at the end of the series, what he say? It ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun. It ain't what a rabbit do got. He was doing the salsa dance. Ain't that why he got kicked out? Because of the salsa.
That was why he get kicked. And
it wasn't worth it. But he ran straight out. You say I get in the shower early. I could probably be out there for everybody else.
Well, look, here's the thing. Also, we saw Denver, even though Dame was killing them with them threes. Again, it wasn't like Dame was just driving to the hole and that was it. Now they were scoring up, but when they played defense, they doubled him. They had timely stops. Are they going to be able to do this with this? This is the thing when they're doing this to Devin Booker. Is he going to be able to find a way to beat that or make the right pass?
Well, the thing is,
he can't. Like Dame again. Look at the rest of the Dame team. What is like? You know, they weren't hidden. They wasn't. You know what I mean? Like even in the last one.
That was that
well,
one
the thing
game.
is like Dame's
Which
on the
game?
ball all the time. Phoenix has a point guard.
Right.
So at least Chris Paul will.
True.
He can
Yeah,
there'll be ways for Booker to get open, or at least to be to have one-on-ones.
I just thinking about, somebody said don't forget about Aaron Gordon. That's probably true. Jay Crowder probably going to be more on Aaron Gordon, and that kid Bridges is probably going to be on Michael Porter.
So let me ask y'all this. So with this Atlanta Hawks series,
I like that one too. If Embiid don't play, oof.
yeah, are they in trouble? Do you feel like Hawks win?
If Embiid don't play, I got the Hawks.
See, I still don't think it's a wash like that. It's too many matchup problems, as we mentioned before, with Atlanta.
Well, someone has to. If Embiid's not there, someone has to step up for the Sixers. Can Ben Simmons be more of a scorer? I mean, Doc Rivers already said he's not a 40-point guy, but he might have to be a 30-point guy. Well, if Embiid's not there, who's that?
I don't know.
And then Seth Curry is.
I think
he
it's
gets
Tobias.
that. He gets that once a series.
Yeah, but it's Tobias. Tobias played a great series.
Can Tobias carry the team offensively for a whole series?
I think with the matchups he can. Who are you going? Because here's the thing: who will you put on? So who are you matching up with? So Trey.
I'll put DeAndre Hunter on him.
Then
on Tobias.
Then Ben Simmons is going to probably eat. Because he's bigger. He's too big.
He's getting to the basket? I mean, because
he's too big. He's too big for
John Collins?
No. You want to put John Collins on Ben Simmons. He'd kill him. He's too slow. So that's why it's the matchup.
He's too big for Bogdanovich. He's
too
probably
big for,
too quick for Gallinari.
So here's
so I'd rather allow him to do that than let Tobias
not shooting
just
jumpers
be on fire from everywhere
right.
else.
I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying. So if you put DeAndre on Tobias, which I agree, but then Ben Simmons, he's too big, he's too fast for anybody else. And he's going to be able to drive.
Clint Capella sitting there at the rim because who's going to be right there? Dwight Howard?
But then he's going to dish off. Then now you got a dunk because now Clint has to help. Now you got a dunk or like Trey's been doing. But then you look at so Seth Curry.
Then you just load up on Simmons and make it
right.
If Simmons is more of a distributor than a scorer, then the Hawks will win.
But what I'm saying is, it's not that he's going to be more of a distributor. What I'm saying is the fact that if he's able to post up, because he can post, and drive to the lane because you don't have nobody who's quick enough, and Capella come help, now you got an easy basket because he's distributing, or he's going to lay it up.
If you make him more of a passer, then he's...
I disagree with that. I'd rather him score than be a passer because you're getting others involved and others getting hot. With Ben Simmons, we know he can score if he drives to the basket, but he can't shoot. I'll make him that, like you said, that 30-point scorer if he can.
John Collins back up off of him. Shoot.
They got to play the Rondo defense, the Kobe Rondo defense.
Back up off
That's
of
what
him
I
and let
say.
him shoot.
But no one has done that, and if they don't, he has an advantage. Even with Seth, I don't think Seth will score 30 points a game, but Seth going to get jumpers.
And then if the game get close, put somebody in the fourth quarter and foul him.
And here's another key with the Sixers that can help with them. They have the not just the depth, because you bring in Maxey, you bring in bench scorers. Remember, this is not the Knicks. They can score on and off the bench. But the championship pedigree, because now you have a Dwight Howard that has that pedigree. You have a Danny Green, and then don't forget George Hill. So I just want to see the Hawks.
I like George Hill that lost the championship for.
But look, let's say if the Hawks lose the first game and they lose by 17, or they get blown out. What would tell that story is how will the Hawks battle back? Because remember, the Hawks only lost maybe a quarter and a half.
Against the
doing that whole that's it. They outplayed them the rest of the series. But how would they respond? If they're able to respond after a loss like that, then you got a chance. You got a good chance.
I think your help defense on Ben Simmons has to be good, and everybody has to rotate when he drives so that if he does try to drop it off in the paint, you're prepared. But you also got to
they got jumpers.
Prepared. You got to also be prepared, you know what I'm saying,
right.
for that.
Right. So, like I said, it's going to be a great series. I just don't want to count the 76ers yet just because of those matchup problems. It's just not Embiid. It's all around it's like, man, who's going to guard who's going to guard.
But someone has to, a third player has to step up for the Sixers as a scorer if they don't have Embiid. And I mean, you could expect it to be Seth Curry, but it has to be something consistent. He'll give you 30.
But do they really have
once a month?
But do they really have to have that? And I understand what you're saying, but with this type of team, because you got Maxey coming off the bench, you have Shake Milton coming off. You can get people where you can get Curry score 15, Danny Green score 12, Maxey score 15.
They got to hit these shots.
Right.
They got to hit the shots that they get, and if it's, I think if they're playing off of Simmons and they're worried about the shooters around them, I think the Hawks can limit what the Sixers can do. I think they can limit them enough to where I'm not just going to trust that these guys are going to be knockdown shooters consistently, at least for this series, just like that.
And I think,
but some people are. But I'm in the playoffs. I'm not like depending on a team being knockdown shooters.
I think the season prepared this for them, right? And what I mean by it is, the Hawks. And what I mean by it is all them games they were down by what in the fourth quarter? Or down by 17 or 18 in the second or the third quarter and just stayed composed. It's like that's what Nate brought them, just stay composed. So like you said, let's say they lose game 1 by 17, how they bounce back and play that game too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They are still young. You know, Philly has been here, has done that. You know what I'm saying?
That's
but
the key.
If they can stay,
if they can do that,
even kill, come out and just do what they need to do and recognize that was game 1 in Philly. The first time having fans. Did they have fans the last time? Probably not, right? Like but fans there, and
because
you know
they haven't had adversity in the playoffs yet. This is a young team. Their first time in the playoffs. They haven't had adversity in the playoffs. Even when they lost that game, they were up by 18. It was like coach didn't put Trey. He didn't put Trey them in fast enough or whatever. So that's my take with that. Real quick before we go, which coach do you trust the most in the second round? Even with Lou and my guy, I can't think of his name right now. Rick Carlisle. If you add them in there, just say if they in the second round, who do you trust the most?
In the second round, I'll say Doc Rivers. Because we haven't gotten to the fight of Eastern Conference Finals yet. Now, once we get to that round, then I might have a whole nother pick. But in the second round, I'm gonna go with Doc.
In the second, I'm gonna go with Mike Malone because like they made the Western Conference Finals last year. The other conference finalists, Lakers are out, Miami's out, Boston's out. They still played well enough to get to the 3rd seed, and it don't seem like they're that tired.
They sure don't. They probably at the crib.
So I think they are more mentally prepared to get through all this and more physically prepared, perhaps.
Yeah, I agree with all y'all. I think it's Doc, but I do like Mike Malone because he's been here before.
I can tell you I trust the least.
Who?
Bud. I don't know why. I just don't.
Yeah. That's why I feel like the Nets the Bucks could either win it in 5 or lose it in 5.
But see, I feel like that with Steve Nash and D'Antoni.
I think he got so much on his.
It's the same thing. Like that's what like somebody losing in 5 games.
All right, y'all. We're gonna take a quick break, and we have to talk about these fans getting out of control and what could they do. Keep it locked.
Have you been looking for a radio station that gives you sports?
I don't believe it! It's a touchdown!
Entertainment?
Are you not entertained?
And other special interest talk shows?
Well, isn't that special?
All on one app?
Yo, that's dope. What app is that?
It's the Real 1100 AM app for WWE. Grab it for free in your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
Happy Saturday, sports fans. It's your boy Sherm, aka the Lord of the Beats, and you are currently inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge with my man's Mr. Controversy, D Intellectual, and of course my dog G behind the boards. Cheers to the freaking weekend.
Back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Yeah, right. You're right, Mike. You know what he's talking about?
Yeah.
When he did, what was her name?
Can't think of her name.
Was it Malika Andrews?
I don't know.
So what Mike said, I'm sorry, you ain't see. So when Mike said,
you want to call Michael?
Yeah, that was bogus how he did that. I mean, that's his name, but it was like, come on, man. He apologized, though. He apologized for it. But
he's not going to say it again. And if he do, I'll give him something back. Hey, man, chill out.
Right, yeah, that was wild. But, all right, the fans.
Start calling him Maloney instead.
We saw the fans.
Doug.
Hey,
Double L.
I can't play what Tobias Harris said when I asked him about what he thought of the fans, because we get kicked out the air. But that's how he felt. He said what he said, but everybody's been vocal about it. We've seen the incidents in Boston. We've seen the spitting. We've seen the popcorn. And then old boy jumping out. Like, I've never seen that in basketball.
What?
Like, maybe soccer and football, but I've never seen a fan
pour the popcorn.
No, not streak, but just go run into the court.
Oh, yeah.
It's happened a couple of times, but it's very rare because there's security around the court already.
I just saw a video of this guy. He had on the Pelicans warm up.
Oh, he's a comedian. He's a comedian. I see that video.
He was on the court. He was warming up. He like this. Do it like this.
Because he had on the hoodie, yeah. So that's why no one really caught it.
They passed him the ball. He went on and shot it. Security came and got him, sat him down. Yeah. He scolded him like, "Hey man, I'm that. It was hilarious though.
Yeah. I remember that. But what can they do, man? Like we see this, and like, well, what are your thoughts with everything? Do you think it's just because it's everybody want to be on TV now, or what?
What's my thought? Man, look, if I was these players, I'd be to smack fire somebody. Everybody want to be on TV. Everybody want to be everywhere. But that fan that dropped the popcorn couldn't even be on TV. And the one that spit, we ain't even see his head. I know that they probably have pictures and probably can see him.
You saw him. They showed his head at first.
Right.
That's how they was able to.
Yeah. But like they done lost their mind, and I guess they done forgot.
Said they lost their mind.
I guess they done forgot about what happened was it 20 years ago or 19 years ago?
Right, with Ron Artest.
Yeah.
That was 2004.
Yeah, so they done lost their mind because if they get in them stands and get to them fans, they going to remember that these boys are 6'2" and above. And they work out all the time.
Right.
Like, I think it was nice of Trey not to press charges against Buddy. That was a real nice gesture.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would have. You know what I mean? Because I can't handle that in the street. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you spit on me, dude. Like, that's the ultimate form of disrespect.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I probably would have definitely pressed charges, but I don't
know what's going on. Like, it's just weird that all of a sudden you see these fans doing this. The bottle, the popcorn, again, they need to show this on, forget ESPN Classics. They need to show it on TNT, ESPN.
During the pregame show or a halftime show.
Show the whole thing.
Yeah, show had kicked off and show when Jermaine O'Neal slid punched at the dude like he was on Street Fighter.
He got lucky. Yeah. So I know they beefed the security, and I understand that the league is trying to do whatever they can, but do you think it's a solution?
I know that this isn't going to be a solution. Mike just said something, that was, he said, man, make them sign an agreement that if they do something like that, they got to go meet the player in a dark room for 5 minutes is long. People don't understand how long a fight is. Like, you're not tired you'll be trying to fight for 5
Right. Well, 2 minutes. Like Charles Barkley has said this too. He's like, every time a fan says something or does something, if he says something to him, bring him to half court. Okay, say that again to my face.
Right. Throw the popcorn on me.
So I think that's the extreme example, but that might be what it takes.
Because I mean, what can you really do, right? What are you gonna have, like security standing in front of like the whole side, like, you know what I mean? Like you can't go that far, because then they, you know what I mean? That's extreme, and you ain't probably ain't got no security guards for that. It's gonna be fights all through the place.
Rick says they need some of these ATL club bouncers.
Yeah, on chat. Hey, but that's what I made a post about that. I said they need to have one of these bouncers, grab them up, put them in that.
Talk about that
full flex.
That one
where
you can't even move.
Full flex, and then they throw you out like they, you know what I'm saying?
Like Uncle Phil used to do.
But you see them people
that's
in the club.
That's
a fan penalty box. What do y'all think about that? A fan penalty box?
They're going to be acting a fool in there once they get put in there.
But no, it's the fan and that player.
Oh.
In the penalty box. So then everyone can see it. It won't be at half court.
I think one of the most logical things though is probably what Rick said. Is like have the bouncers be more physical with those players. You know what I mean? Or the security be more fit. But then that becomes a lawsuit, right?
No.
See, we talked about this last night. That if there's law enforcement, if they're cops,
oh yeah, that's how you do it.
And there happens to be a bruise or a cut, that's just a hazard.
But cops can't really do a lot now.
Yeah, but the most that person could do is file a complaint.
Yeah,
and it gets put in a box somewhere in a warehouse.
So now, D has alluded to the brawl, the malice in the palace. So, is there a player right now that you see would do something like that, or to knock a player
that would go into the stands?
Go into the stands or knock a fan out?
I'm not sure how much he plays, they're probably going. I think they're going to need him. And he's already fought some fans once. Mike Scott.
Oh yeah,
of the 76ers.
When we got caught with all this stuff,
Because he went to an Eagles game, but he's a Washington fan and got into it with some Eagles fans. There's video of it.
Yeah, he did. And he didn't get in trouble. He never get in trouble. You remember he got caught up down here? That just disappeared. He got caught up. I'm talking about with a lot of stuff. He had MDMA. He had all. I'm talking about. And it just went away.
It's like you just said, it wasn't me.
Right.
I think the Twins. I think all the Twins in the NBA.
I don't know if their mom comes to the game. Are you talking about the Morris twins?
The Moores, all of them.
I know with the Morris twins, if their mom is at the game and somebody says something, yes.
Like, I ain't even saying
that. Do it.
And bro gonna be there anyway at most of the games anyway.
Who?
His brother, because the Lakers out. So,
right.
if he keeps going, his brother gonna be at the game.
And I'm not even talking, I'm just saying just in the NBA period, like not in the playoffs, but right. You're right about that. But the Martin twins like that too.
I think Jay Crowder going though.
Oh, yeah, Jay Crowder, swing on somebody.
I'm trying to
he dancing too much.
I'm trying to think of who on Dallas.
LeBron a flop. If a fan come out here.
It'll be an accident.
Right.
Like they sitting courtside, but they coming back to their seat. They bump to LeBron. Oh, excuse me, LeBron. Oh my God.
Got
the catch-up packet.
That fan gonna be banned.
He's not gonna get a foul, bro.
That fan gonna be banned indefinitely.
That fan gonna be thrown into the
like it was an accident. He stepped on my shoe.
Right. But so this is going too far, man. So I want to see what happens. I hope and pray this junk stops because, like I said, I think somebody's going to get hurt, and is not going to be fun anymore. You know what I'm saying? Probably going to be funny to us, but somebody's going to get hurt, like clocked. You know, they lucky this is not the old days, like in the 80s.
And dude was close enough to Trey to get it. Now, the one at the top ported on Russ.
But Trey didn't feel it. I don't think Trey felt it. It missed Trey.
Right. But the one
it hit the woman in front of the guy was trying to spit from the second row.
Right. But I don't think it missed.
Like the one Russ, Trey. It was no. Like I know he wanted to, and you're heated like that. But he knew it was too many security. He was like, bro, you know you're not finna.
Russ is doing it because they lost too. So, but Russ hates fans. The fans always mess with Russ.
Always.
So Philly fans mess with Russ.
I think he gonna be the first to go in there. If don't nobody do it by the end of these playoffs, let somebody else do something to Russ on one of these sidelines.
At least like he's looking to like, will y'all do something?
And he done begged.
It happens in Philly and it happens in Utah.
He done begged y'all. Nah. What your mama say when you in class and somebody hit you? Go tell the teacher. You tell the teacher a couple times. After the teacher don't do nothing, what you do? Better find something and clock him upside the head, right? That's what Russ gonna do.
Well, all right, man. We're gonna take a quick break and don't go anywhere. We have more sports to talk about.
Join me for a minute. I want you to hear something.
Sports Talk it is. Welcome! You're listening to the Sports Talk Show, and I'm the Sports Talk Wayne Candy.
The 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And I'm your host, Mr. Controversy.
Hello, and welcome to DNA Sports. This is Don the D and DNA.
What's going on? This is Ace of the A and DNA.
Where we bring the facts about sports.
It's Sports Roundtable. I am your humble host, H.O.
Download the Real 1100 app from your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
And now, an important message from Steve Harvey.
I've been thinking about this thing, right? This pandemic, it just isn't over yet. We got the vaccines. I got mine. You might have yours. And when you get that, it's kind of tempting. You want to go to the beach. You want to show up at the club. I'm not scolding you or nothing like that. I'm a performer. I'm tired of doing my shows with no audience. I get it. But listen to this. Don't think just because you got the vaccine that you could just go crazy. We are not quite there yet. Don't let your guard down now. Just follow the current safety guidelines. Wearing your mask is the best way to get it done. I know the mask is hot. I got it. But you know what's hotter than these masks? Staying healthy. Now that's hot. And that's pretty fly if you ask me. Now we need to all keep it together, okay? This is Uncle Steve telling you, let's unite to prevent.
For more information, visit unitetoprevent.org.
This is the Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk, and you're listening to 3-Point Conversion.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And so we talked about a little bit earlier with baseball, with MLB. The MLB, I know a lot of people, it's basketball time, and, you know, some people don't watch baseball. And people that are casual fans of baseball, you know, we don't start watching until, July, right before All-Star break?
Right before.
It makes sense. Ain't nobody tripping. I don't think MLB trips about that. But
as long as y'all here in October, that's what they be saying.
Right.
Just be here in October.
Hey, it's
people don't understand. I'm telling you,
it's good right now.
No, I'm just saying. Even October, like people like baseball. So, man, if you don't watch baseball in October. You're gonna be like, why I feel like that? You're gonna be at home.
It's a different, right? Yeah.
You feel like you there. You be like, what's happening here?
And when it's always on whatever network the World Series. It feels like. There's extra sound.
Yeah,
in here.
like what's happening? That's what I'm saying. Like, what's happening?
I feel like I'm at the game.
When did I get surround sound?
Yeah, it's nothing.
It changes.
Yep. So, but right now, man, it's heated, bro. Like, if we go down the divisions, the AL East, Tampa is at 36-23, Tampa Bay, and then Boston's they're one game behind with 34-23. The Yankees are 31-27. Even Toronto is 29-26. So it's like
one game. Boston a game behind, Yankees 4.5 behind, Blue Jays 5 behind.
It's okay. Then you go to the AL Central. White Sox are 35-22, but Cleveland is 30-25, 4 games behind, and Kansas City is 5 games behind. They're 29-26.
They kind of running away though.
They're trying to run away. Yeah, they trying to. Kansas City won 7 out of 3. They won 5 in a row, so they trying to.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look at Oakland in the AL West, 34-25. Houston is 32-25, and then Seattle's 29-30. But
the city of Oakland better enjoy that while they can.
Yeah, because they out.
I know, right? Because it's a wrap for them. And then with the NL East, it's the Mets are 27-23. This division,
it's whack,
garbage,
wiggity whack.
But
Atlanta 3.5 behind, Philly 4, Nationals 5,
right? So
Miami 6, and they ain't glad.
It's close. The NL Central is the same way. Cubs leading 32-25. Milwaukee's 1 game behind with 31-26, and the Cardinals are a game and a half behind. Like it's you know what I'm saying? And then with the NL West, like all of them teams good, man. Like
I don't think anyone was really expecting the Giants.
But no. They always what year is this? Is this 2021? They always play.
They went on an even year though.
It was even years.
It was even years. Oh, they're winning.
Yeah, because they always be winning on even years.
So right now, when you see this, like being a baseball fan for as long as you have, this is good to see because usually you don't see teams, and they're winning too. So it's like, you might have a few divisions that is like, all right, they're 3 games behind or whatever. But right now, it's close.
That's letting you know that baseball, like, it's getting more even. It's not as top heavy it was. But when the Cubs and the White Sox are winning, man, you know what I mean? It's just a good vibe, And I don't know if it's like that for everybody, but it's definitely like that for me. And not just because not just because they're winning, but it's like the New York Knicks thing. You know what I mean? Like they're winning, so you know what I'm saying. But like you were saying, everybody is playing good. Everybody thought the Dodgers was gonna run away with the division. They're 11 games over 500 and they 2 games behind. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of parity, and that's definitely great for the sport. But they need to promote their players more.
All right, so
throw that out there.
All right, so let me ask you this then: who do you have as early MVP voting?
It's too early for.
I got Vlad.
It's too.
So let me.
Tatis doing his thing.
Tatis is balling too.
Tatis is doing his thing.
Tatis is balling. So Vlad right now he has a 330 average.
I mean, them could be the two. They in different divisions.
17 home runs.
Acuna doing his thing, his thing, but his team ain't winning.
Right.
Abreu, all he does is hit and get RBIs.
So when you see Chris Bryant is doing well again, that's good to see.
Yeah.
Do you think that Vlad could be what his father was?
I think he could hit from probably a better average than his father did. I think the home runs and RBIs are going to be there, but I think what's going to be different for him is that he's going to hit for a better average.
But
Vlad hit a good average, but let me say less strikeouts. Then let me say that. Let me say that. Not necessarily.
Vlad was hitting. He was swinging for any pitch,
but he used to hit him. The pitch could bounce. You know what I mean? If Vlad take it out left field, you know what I mean? So, but I think that would happen. It's early in the season. It's early in the season. You know what I mean? And somebody just said something about Mookie Betts. He's not playing as good as he is, but it's still early in the season.
But it's what he does. He does
everything.
Yeah.
So even if his bat not doing nothing, he's saving runs out there. You know what I mean? Mike Trout out, isn't he? Didn't he get hurt? I think Mike Trout got hurt.
Yeah. He's probably out for another
like 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
He's still a win. Mike Trout. I mean, he injured. And Mike Trout.
Right. He still probably will. Yeah.
Shout out to DNA Sports Talk. They call him War Machine.
They call it what?
War Machine.
Yeah.
So let's transition to the what's on my mind. We're talking about LeBron James when he walked off the court early.
Yeah.
Does that, when you see that, what is that to you?
I mean,
what do you take from that?
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I don't think he meant it as no disrespect to
Right,
Phoenix.
because I don't think
I think he was first off mad at his team. He had never been knocked out in the first round. You know what I mean? And overall frustrated. You know, somebody recently said something. He was like, he coaches his 9-year-old son basketball team. He said they ain't shaking hands after, like, and that's something maybe we as a society need to get over kind of. How much do you go shake somebody that just beat you? Like, that don't always happen. You know what I mean? It happens at times, but because the Lakers and the Clippers walked off the court. I mean the Clippers and Dallas walked off the court yesterday without shaking people. Kawhi literally walked out.
But that was in the beginning. That was within the series. That's different. But you can't walk out the court when you don't normally, when after the game, even when you're winning, you're walking to shake everybody else's hand. That's where it's.
Are you talking about which walk off the court? Because he just recently did two.
So it's two. So so the one you're just talking about is when he walked off the court after the series. Like
right.
he stayed after the game,
right?
And then the series, he just walked back.
I thought he would at least dap up his boy, but he probably finna go have dinner with him anyway.
But still, you don't. And maybe he was mad because of disrespect of Crowder. But still, when you win, you shake everyone else's hand. So that's how I can rub off. And maybe he didn't mean it. He was mad, I understand it. But I'm just saying, it's like, okay, if we do it to you like Mike was saying, like I understood why Isaiah them did it, but like Mike was saying, if
you didn't want it done to you, why would you want it done to me? Not even that.
If I shake your hand when we lose, why can't you shake my hand when we win? It's one of those. Mm-hmm. But then the other one, when he walked off with like 3 minutes left in the game or something, like 2 minutes?
5 minutes.
Yeah, like 6 minutes left. I don't know if it was apparent injury or anything, but what message does that send?
A horrible one. Like, just
and
overall.
He didn't mean it, but do you think that's just, like...
Maybe it's going to come out later. Maybe what? But even if you're injured and you're probably not getting back in the games, they was down, 30? Mm-hmm. You could have sat. You could have chilled.
I don't know if y'all saw my little promotion for the show, but and it was a parody. But I was saying how, I was in the clip. I was talking to someone, and they told me that LeBron and AD was arguing. So I was like, why were they arguing? And then it came out that LeBron wanted to use the groin injury as an excuse to leave early before AD did, but AD did it already, and it was a parody. It's not real, but in a sense, it's like when you think about when he walked up that time early, it's kind of like he didn't want no part of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of why I made that joke, because it feels like LeBron is not used to losing.
Facts.
Maybe finals is different, but first round playoffs.
But I mean, we probably didn't look at it then. If we go back and look at the finals loss to Summer Golden State, did he shake their hands at the end of the series?
Yes.
Like everybody know for sure.
Yes, for sure. He's always done that. Okay. He always do it. That's why I said it's strange because
it wasn't nothing against Felix. He tired of this team.
It might have been Phoenix because again, Crowder.
But it was just Crowder. Him and Crowder been going back and forth forever.
Devin Booker trolled him by scoring 45 points. So,
but it was just like Crowder. That. Him and Crowder been doing that for years. Because Crowder was in Utah before this, right? Wasn't he in Utah?
No, he was in Miami. They played.
Yeah, that's what
Utah
I'm saying.
Before that,
and then Utah before that. So him and Crowder got a kind of this little. So I don't. He came back out to get Devin Booker the jersey. So
LeBron did.
Yeah. So he probably. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe he was doing that. No, I'm just kidding.
He probably was. I mean, ain't no telling. You know what I mean? I don't think.
I'm just saying. Like I said, I don't think he
did it. And it just doesn't look. It's just not a good look for him and the kids that look up to him and things like that. You know what I mean? But hey, everybody got their own thing. Some people cry on the bench and never get up to shake nobody in.
And then honestly, I talked about that groin injury or whatever. Shout out to AD because I commend him for coming out to try to play. That groin injury is a serious injury. You know what I'm saying?
Crowder was in Boston too. He didn't play LeBron everywhere.
Yeah. But that was a serious injury that AD came back from and he tried to play. So when he got hurt, I don't want to see there you go. No, it wasn't that, because that's a serious injury. He gave it his all. He was out. He missed the game.
He normally wouldn't have played.
Yeah,
and I know
it don't get better in 3 days.
And I know he wanted to get off of the narrative or whatever, but he probably should have been pulled within 2 minutes.
Right. He didn't look the same anyway. But all right, y'all hear this music. You already know what it means. It means it is time to let you go. But before we let you go, we have a couple of shout-outs. And stay tuned, because you might be one of them. First of all, I want to give a shout-out to the Almighty God for giving me this platform to do what I do, say what I say, make you all upset, mad, happy, want to give me the stop it button. I appreciate it, God. I want to thank our guest, Dr. I keep calling him Doctor. I guess he's going to be a doctor soon. But Mr. Joel Cortez from Basketball by the Association podcast. We appreciate him from coming on. Also, I want to thank my guy, G, for doing what he's doing. I appreciate you, bro. Any words?
Nope.
Right. That was different than nope.
Also, I want to thank my guy, D Intellectual.
What up? Appreciate you always and forever. Appreciate everybody always tuning in. We know we was out a couple times, but we back here in full effect. Let's continue to tune in so we can keep bringing you this hotness.
Yes, and I want to thank a couple of people listening. Of course, we always got to thank Mike. Mike listens to the whole entire show. We want to thank my man Marlon. Marlon Malcolm listens to the show as well. Appreciate you, bruh. Cuz, I see you, Linda. I appreciate you. And everyone else who was listening, Vince, Cortland, so many other people I saw. If I missed you, I apologize. Shout out to David for commenting. I want to thank my beautiful family, my lovely wife, beautiful children, my nieces, nephews, aunties, uncles, cousins, brothers, sisters, in-laws, grandparents, play cousins. Hey, make sure you love family. Let family know that you love them. Love them while they still can feel it. Be safe, healthy, eat good. Watch the game tonight. Watch some sports. Watch that bogus fight tonight. I want to see what happens. If he don't touch him.
Think he going to knock him out?
Nah, they going to be playing around. But anyway, we're going to see what happens. And until next week, same time, same show, same sports nonsense, same crazy sports, same what we do. Until then, will you miss me? I'm out. Peace. You just got done listening to the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Be sure to follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook accounts at the 3-Point Conversion. And also make sure you check out our website, the3pointconversion.com. Be sure to follow us live and listen every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. Even with Coach Tom John, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry.
You are tuned into WWE AM 1100.
The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
ያደረኩት ያለም ስለመዳኔ ያደረኩት ያለም ስለመዳኔ የከፈልኩት ያለም ስለመዳኔ የከፈልኩት ያለም ስለመዳኔ እንዲሁ በነፃ የዳንኩት እንዲሁ በነፃ በነፃ ነው እንዲሁ በነፃ እንዲሁ በጸጋ ነው የዳንኩት እንዲሁ በጸጋ እንዲሁ በጸጋ ነው እንዲሁ በጸጋ
ሰላም ለእናንተ ይሁን ውድ አድማጮቻችን እንደምን ከርማችኋል? ይህ የምታዳምጡት የምስራች ድምጽ የሬዲዮ ፕሮግራም ነው። የምስራች ድምጽ ሬዲዮ ዘወትር ቅዳሜ ከ12 ሰዓት ፒኤም እስከ 1 ሰዓት ፒኤም ድረስ ለ1 ሰዓት የሚተላለፍ ፕሮግራም ሲሆን በዝግጅቱም የእግዚአብሔርን ቃል አብረን የምንማርበት ቃለ መጠይቆችን እንደዚሁም ዝማሬዎችን